been the most fun to make, for one simple reason. We've got to win. The Colts went all the way, and after 13 hard-fought games, ended up as the world champions. But right now, let's go back to the opener at Memorial Stadium. The Colts' opponent was the Detroit Lions. The Lions, always out front on ball, had never been easy for the Colts, and this game proved to be no exception. Now, here's Chuck Thompson with the highlights of the Colts season opener against the Lions.
48,000 turnout for the league opener with the world champion Detroit Lions. Johnny Unitas, who set a Colt record for touchdown tosses last year, takes up where he left off as he fires on target to Jim Butler on the Detroit 30. Unitas steps back as if to pass, then ducks through the middle to drive for 10 yards, and it's goal to go for Baltimore. Unitas hands to Lenny Moore, and Lenny lopes inside end to cross the goal line for the first score of the game. It's a beautiful run, and it gives the Colts the early lead at 7-0. Detroit battles back in the waning moments of the first period. John Henry Johnson is on the ball toting end of a slick pitch-out play, and he makes it work for 17 yards. The Lions open the second period by climbing onto the scoreboard as Jim Martin's 31-yard field goal makes it Baltimore 7, Detroit 3. The Colts are forced to kick, and here come the Lions. Bobby Lane fires a perfect strike to Jim Doran on the Baltimore 25. Lane has the Lions looking fit. He picks on Dave Middleton for a quick shot and a first down on the Colt 12. Bobby Lane is zeroed in on the goal line. He rolls out, passes on the run. Hopalong Cassidy makes a great catch, and the Lions take the lead. Score now, Detroit 9, Baltimore 7. The passing duel continues as Unitas of the Colts takes his turn. He picks on his favorite receiver, Raymond Berry, and the Colts are grazing on the Lion 27. Unitas steps back and looks for Berry again. Berry has it on the 12, rips away from the tackler and hustles into the end zone. And the Colts take the upper hand in this seesaw struggle to lead 14-9 at halftime. It's Tobin Road after Detroit controls in the third period. Road flips to Cassidy, and Hopalong has it for a 16-yard gain. The screen pass works to perfection for the Motor City man. Rote lobs to Cassidy, and Cassidy canters into the Colt corral with a covey of early blockers to keep him company. Lions' second touchdown puts them back on top, 15-14. The Colts cut loose the horse on the first play of the final period. He's Alan Amici, and he won't stop for anybody. Amici's run carries to the Detroit 38. Unitas then moves the ball closer with a pass to Raymond Berry. Unitas and Berry just have to be the top pass-catch combination in the league. They click here for their second touchdown of the day and their third completion in this drive. Now Baltimore leads 21-15. An interception gives the Colts a chance to go again, and they're off on the arm of Unitas. His receiver is none other than Raymond Berry as Baltimore crosses into Lion country. The Colts move closer. L.G. Dupre follows his interference on a 12-yard sweep that carries into the end zone. It's the finishing touch to Baltimore's fifth straight opening day victory. Final score, Baltimore 28, Detroit 15.
Yes, the Colts were shooting for their first championship. They bagged themselves a real prize in the opening game. The next team to be added to the Colts trophy room was Papa Hallis's Big Bad Bears. They were the team picked for the forecasters to go all the way. The Bears had won all 6 of their preseason games, and they knocked off the Green Bay Packers in their league opening. So they came to Memorial Stadium with a perfect record. But the Colts hadn't read the press notices.
The largest crowd ever to watch a professional football game in Baltimore is packed into Memorial Stadium for the battle with the Bears. In the first period, the Colts' Lenny Moore starts to his left, sees daylight inside, and then streaks through the Bears secondary for a touchdown. The Colts lead 7-0 after a minute and 30 seconds of the game. Ed Brown, number 15, tries to get the Bears rolling, but these Colts mean business. Bill Pellington intercepts on the 46 and returns the ball to the Bear 33. Touchdown-minded Johnny Unitas wastes no time. Hiding the ball beautifully, John hits Raymond Berry on the 1, and Ray fights free to score. The Colts now lead the stunned Bears 14-0. Again, Ed Brown passes for the Bears, but again, Bill Pellington intercepts for Baltimore. Bill goes way up to pull it in on the 35 and races back to the Chicago 15. The Colts call on Lenny Moore, and Lenny is Mr. Touchdown tonight as he scores on the same play as his first touchdown, going to his left and cutting back. The Colts missed the extra point, so it's 20-0. The Bears finally get close enough to give George Blanton a chance to boot a 40-yard field goal home for 3 points. Johnny Unitas is back to pass, and that means trouble for the Bears. He hits Lenny Moore on the Colt 31. Lenny, who is playing the finest game of his brilliant career, shakes off one Bear tackler, then another, outraces everybody, including the cameraman, to the end zone to score his 3rd touchdown of the quarter, and the Colts are out in front 27-3. The Bears roar back. Ed Brown hits Bill McCall on the goal line for a Chicago touchdown. The score is now Baltimore 27, Chicago 10. The Bears kick off to the Colts. The Colts unleash their prize rookie Leonard Lyles. Leonard takes the ball 3 yards deep in the end zone and starts upfield. Lyles is considered to be the fastest man in football, and here's why. Lyles sprints all the way 103 yards for the touchdown. It's now Colts 34, Bears 10. In the third quarter, the Bears' Willie Gallimore, who is a pretty fast man himself, takes a quick pitch and goes for 21 yards to the Colt 11. Rookie John Morris completes the scoring march as he drives over from the 6. Landis' kick gives the Bears 17, but the Colts have 34. George Hallis's Bears get back in the ballgame. Ed Brown hits Big Bill McCall, and McCall rolls to the Colt 4. Ed Brown sneaks over from the 1. The Bears draw closer at 34-24. Attack again. Brown's pass to McCall is deflected by Davis, and Ray Brown picks it off. And the Colt rookie picks up blockers and weaves his way to the Chicago 10-yard line. On a 4th down try, Unitas makes it look easy. Jim Mutchler is on the scoring end of Johnny's 3rd touchdown pass. The Colts increase their lead to 41-24. Bert Retchachar kicks off for Baltimore. Waiting for it on the 1 is Willie Gallimore. Willie, the fleetest Bear of them all, matches Lyle's feet as he jets through the Colts and races 99 yards for a touchdown. Willie keeps the Bears in the ballgame as the score now reads 41-31. It's time for Unitas and Moore to do their stuff again. Lenny takes John's pass on the 25. Lenny dances away from the tackler, and he prances all the way for the touchdown. It's Moore's 4th of the evening, a new Colt scoring record. Chicago gets the final score of the exciting touchdown marathon. C. Pretkowski hits Bill McCall for the score, but the Colts outlast the Bears to score a smashing 51-38 victory.
Well, I guess that took care of the Bears. The next on the schedule was the Green Bay Packers. National Brewing Company sports announcers Chuck Thompson and Bob Wool head for the land of lakes. But the Packers proved to be a lot more than the Colts bargained for. For a while, it looked like the long trek north was going to be even longer coming back. Tell me, Chuck, were you worried in that first half?
I sure was, Bailey. We were on the edge of our seats all the way. The Packers are out to perform an upset for the fans. Bart Starr's pass is deflected into Don McElhenney's hands, and Don is on his way. Out racing the Baltimore secondary, Don scampers for a score on a 55-yard maneuver. Green Bay takes an early 7-0 lead. The Packers seem undaunted by the Colts' previous high-scoring performances. Number 85, Max McGee, is on the receiving end of Bart Starr's aerial as Green Bay begins another drive. Fullback Howie Ferguson bucks through and packs the pigskin for 23 yards as the Packers set up shop on the Baltimore 17. Starr steps back and hits Max McGee for 12 yards, and it's goal to go Green Bay. Bart Starr sneaks into touchdown land as the Packers load the score on the Colts. It's now 14-0. Green Bay continues the assault against the Colts in the second period. Steve Meilinger, number 80, receives from Starr for a 17-yard gain. Starr shines again with a heave to Meilinger, who takes the ball into the Colt pass. Starr flings a swing pass to Paul Hornung. Paul ends up on the 11-yard line. The Packers settle for 3 this time. Hornung splits the uprights from 19 yards out, and the score now reads 17-0 in favor of the underdog Green Bay Packers. Undaunted by the Packers' point parade, the Colts go to work. L.G. Dupre squirms for 9 yards to the Green Bay 37. Dupre likes the turf, so the Colts try him again. LG gets 15 this time, and the Colts are on the Green Bay 11. Quarterback Johnny Unitas connects with Dangerous Moore, and Lenny just misses going in for the score. Johnny Unitas breaks the ice as he sneaks in, and it's touchdown for the Colts. Baltimore has 7, but the Packers have 17 at halftime, and Green Bay fans are cheering for an upset. In the third period, the Colts come galloping back. Unitas hits Raymond Berry for 18 yards. Unitas wheels and fakes a pitch, then hits Mutzler with a bullet over the middle. And Jim breaks through 2 defenders and gallops goalward with Bobby Dillon in hot pursuit. Dillon's diving tackle is not in time, and the frisky Colts are kicking up their heels. Now it's Green Bay 17, Baltimore 14. Bart Starr passes for the Packers in the fourth period, but Don Shinnick of the Colts is the wrong man in the right spot. Shinnick returns to the Green Bay 38 with his key interception. Unitas drops back to look for a receiver. He can't find one, so Johnny legs it to salvage a 13-yard pickup on the play. Unitas backpedals again. Johnny finds Raymond Berry for a first down on the 15-yard line. With 4 minutes and 11 seconds left in the game, Steve Myra boots a 3-pointer from the 14, and it's all tied up 17-17. The Packers aren't about to settle for another tie. They go for the win. Star to Billy Houghton, that's 17 yards. Star passes again, but Andy Nelson, number 80, swipes the ball for the Colts and begins a brilliant 52-yard zigzag gallop that winds up in the end zone to give the Colts a rousing 24-17 comeback victory over the Green Bay Packers.
Well, that was a close one. And it's the game that probably more than anything else proved to the Colts that they could come from behind and win. As head coach Weave Eubank said, this was the day the Colts found themselves. We wanted to add Green Bay to our collection. But how do you stuff a Packer? The next stop on the title trail was Briggs Stadium in Detroit. This was the Colts' jinx town. They had never won a game in the Motor City. But this year they won, and how? Tying the Lions' tail in a knot to the tune of 40-14. After Detroit, the Colts added an Indian War bonnet to their collection. The Washington Redskins were considered a threat in the Eastern Division, but they found the high-flying Colts too tough to corral.
In spite of the rain, which drenched the whole eastern seaboard, 54,000 are packed into Baltimore's soggy Memorial Stadium to watch the unbeaten Colts try to stretch their string to 5 games. The Skins are in a spoiling mood as Sid Watson swings around end and slashes to a first down at the Colt 47. The Redskin running attack is one of the best in the league. Jim Podolny breaks over the left side to the Baltimore 17 as the Skins close in. Watch in slow motion as Bert Zegers tries that left side and makes it give to the tune of 9 yards. It's first down and goal to go for Washington. Again, the give is to Zegers, and Bert blasts over to score for the Redskins. The mighty Colts are trailing 7-0 midway in the first quarter. But Johnny Unitas soon has the Colt touchdown stampede in full swing as he fires a pass to Lenny Moore. Moore makes it a 41-yard play to the Redskin 30. It's first and 10 on the 12, but the Colts need only one play. Moore finds room to the left, and over he goes for a Baltimore touchdown. Colt fans feel better as the first quarter score reads 7-7. The Colts are back on the attack in the second period. Unitas pops a pass to Raymond Berry. Berry batters to a first down in the Washington 21. Unitas has the ball, and he's looking for Berry. Raymond is camped in the end zone. Unitas hits him, and Baltimore goes out in front of Washington 14-7 on a beautiful scoring play. Later in the half, the Colts riddled the Redskin umbrella with a sustained passing attack. Berry takes a Unitas pass at the Colt 42. Unitas has a hot hand with that football. He flips a short one to Lenny Moore, and Lenny shakes off 3 Redskins on a 21-yard play. The Colts are pawing the turf on the Redskin 37. Unitas dances back and fires a flare pass to his fullback, Alan Amici, and the horse gallops all the way to the Redskin 21. Unitas crosses up the defense as he hands to Amici on the draw play, and Allen blasts through the secondary, and he's inside the 10 before the Redskins can pull him down. Amici finishes off the 78-yard drive by diving inside left tackle and belting across the goal line. At halftime, it's the Colts 21, the Redskins 7. The Redskins break out of the reservation in the third period. Eddie LeBaron passes to Bert Zegers for a 19-yard profit. The Colts are called for roughing the passer, and the ball winds up in the Baltimore 28. The Colts bar the way into their corral, but Sam Baker boots a 31-yard field goal that Washington now has 10 to Baltimore's 21. Sam Baker kicks off. Takes it 1 yard in the end zone and turns on the speed. The lightning-leg rookie from Louisville gets by the first wave of Redskins and sprints into the clear. Nobody's going to catch him. It's a 101-yard touchdown, and Baltimore leads Washington 28-10. Tries to pass the Redskins back into the game, but Baltimore's Ray Brown gets in the way with one of Baltimore's 2 key interceptions, and the Colts take over. Johnny Unitas and Raymond Berry hook up to put the game out of reach of the Redskins. Berry takes Johnny's short pass, veers to the outside, races 48 yards to score the final touchdown of the game. The last period is a standoff as the Baltimore Colts keep their perfect record intact by defeating Washington 35-10.
The Colts were really stampeding. The faltering Green Bay Packers were next to be trampled. Everything clicked for the Colts as 51,333 fans sat through a cold, driving rainstorm and watched the Colts set up housekeeping in the Packers' end zone to the tune of 56-0.
The Green Bay Packers are fresh from their first victory of the season, but the task of corralling the Baltimore Colts is too much. Early in the game, Babe Perilli passes for the white-shirted Packers, but pesky Colt Carl Tassif pilfers the pigskin and is finally upended on the Green Bay 18. L.G. Dupre knows the way as he cuts back over tackle to pick up 13 yards. brings the Colts out in front as he passes to Lenny Moore. Lenny slips in, and the Colts lead by a 7-0 score. The Colts are at it again in the second period. Moore takes a Unitas toss and canters into Packer territory. Fakes a defender and keeps on rolling before he is halted on the 6 after a dazzling 63-yard sortie. Amici breaks from the gate and slants into Packer paradise to give the Colts a 2-touchdown party. The boys from Wisconsin just can't seem to get started. Andy Nelson pulls in Pirelli's pitch with a beautiful interception and starts back for the Colts. When he's finally stopped, Andy has the Colts set up on the Packer 26-yard line. A penalty fails to hamper the Colts. They call on Jack Hall, and Jack answers with a 17-yard scamper. Quarterback John Unitas hits Amici on the flare. Amici racks a Packer and then drives to the 5. Unitas fakes to Amici, looks to his right, and then flips to Amici in the left corner for his second touchdown pass of the game. Johnny has now thrown for a score in 21 consecutive games, and the Colts lead 21-0. Time for one more score in the first half. Berry receives a Unitas aerial for an 18-yard advance. This play may be a costly one for Baltimore. Unitas can't find a receiver, so he darts up the middle. Johnny is injured on this play and is forced to leave the game. George Shaw, number 14, quickly finishes the job for Unitas with a toss to Lenny Lyles. Len streaks across, and the Colts pile up a 28-0 cushion at halftime. George Shaw cracks the whip on the Colts as Jack Hall catches his pass and moves into Packer land. Shaw looks just as good as ever as he fakes beautifully and then finds Jim Mutchler, and the Colts are running away with a 35-0 ball game. Green Bay's Mark Starr fires a bullet, but it backfires when Don Shinnick makes a diving interception and bounces up to place the ball on the Packer 27. Neither the rain nor a penalty can dampen the spirited Colts. Amici, the horse, looks more like a bull as he nets 22 yards on this play. Leonard Lyles quickly brings the ball inside the 5-yard marker with a dive over right tackle. George Shaw piles over guard to score his first touchdown of the season, and after 3 periods of football fireworks, the score reads 49-0. With Moore and Amici resting on the bench, the young Colts continue to run. Jack Hall opens up quickly and goes straight ahead for 35 yards. Rookie Leonard Lyles bangs the right side and finds room for 8 more yards. George Shaw finishes the Colts' amazing display of offensive football with a 6-yard touchdown pass to Bert Rechichar. Tries in vain to give the Packers a score as he takes the kickoff on the 5. He returns up the sideline to the Colt 34. The Packers fight desperately for a touchdown. Jim Taylor drives up the middle for 5. Joe Francis drops back to pass. Colt lineman put on the rush. Joe hits his receiver, who laterals to McElhenney on the 10. Francis steps back again. Joe decides to keep, and he finds daylight as he moves to the Colt 3. Jim Taylor goes straight ahead, but he meets a stone wall as the Colt defense fights for a shutout. On the last play of the game, Francis keeps, drives off tackle, but the Colts stop him just shy with a brilliant goal line stand for the first shutout in Baltimore Colt history, a 56-0 lacing of the Green Bay Packers.
An injury-racked Colts squad traveled to New York to meet the team they had beaten twice in preseason play. But this was a different squad of Giants. They were in the thick of the race in the Eastern Conference. And when the final gun sounded, the Colts had dropped their first game 24-21. The Colts had faltered, but all lived for a moment. In the make-or-break game with the Chicago Bears for the lead in the Western Conference, the Colts, behind the man of the hour, quarterback George Shaw, handed the Bears a 17-0 whitewashing. The first time a Bear team had been shut out in 149 games. The Colts' next opponent was the Los Angeles Rams, featuring John Arnett and company. The Rams were enjoying a successful season, and coming into this game, they were tied with the Bears for second place. But the Colts added the Rams to their growing collection of trophies without too much difficulty.
A record sellout crowd jams the stadium for this key Western Conference game. The first-place Colts have 7 wins and 8 starts, while the Rams are riding a 3-game winning streak. Johnny Unitas, on his first offensive effort after 2 weeks on the injured list, drops back and hurls long. Lenny Moore has outrun everyone to pull it in and give Unitas a warm welcome home as he gallops in for the score. The early break from the gate gives the Colts a 7-0 lead. The stunned Rams try to move as Billy Wade whips one. Carl Tassif gets in the way and gives the pigskin to the Colts on the Rams' 18 as the first quarter ends. After a penalty against Los Angeles, Lenny Moore hops over left tackle to the 8-yard line. Needs just one more try to pick up his second touchdown as he slips around the right end. The Colts miss the extra point, but lead 13-0. Billy Wade rouses the Rams with a quick flip to Lamar Lundy for a first down at midfield. Wade finds Big Lundy again for an 18-yard piece of cold pasture. The Colts' savage defense forces the Rams to try a field goal, but Big Daddy Lipscomb blocks the kick as the Colts maintain their 13-point lead at halftime, and a huge crowd loves it. The Rams rebound in the third period as Lamar Lundy takes Wade's pass to the Ram 46. Battering Ram Joe Marconi gets 13 yards on the draw up the middle. Wade hits Lundy again, and the big man gets inside the Colt 10, and the Rams are on the rampage. The touchdown man, Tommy Wilson, cuts back over the right side for the score. Tommy's 7th of the year makes it Colts 13, Rams 7. Near the end of the third period, rookie Ray Brown gets off a punt for the Colts. The league's best in the run-back department, takes it. But John has trouble here and fumbles. And Ordell Gracie recovers for the Colts on the Ram 19. Lenny Moore displays his favorite style of running as he squirms for 7 yards on the last play of the third quarter. Play of the final period, Unitas goes back to pass. Glenn Holtzman appears to have him, but Johnny spins away and quickly pitches a strike to Jim Mutchler that's worth 6 points for Baltimore. The Colts lead 20-7. The next time they get the ball, Unitas and Moore team up, and that's one team the Rams can't handle. Lenny dances down the sideline for a 50-yard gain, almost getting away. Slash is just inches shy of the goal line. Johnny Unitas pushes in as the Colts run wild with a 27-7 lead over the Rams. The Rams fumble the kickoff away, and L.G. Dupre goes to work for Baltimore, slicing 9 yards off left tackle. L.G. cuts back over right tackle, this time for 6 yards and 6 points. This final touchdown makes it 34-7 and virtually ruins the Rams' hopes for the Western Conference Championship as they drop to third place. The next spot
spot on the Colts trophy wall was reserved for the San Francisco 49ers. This was the game that could put the Colts in floor. Now let's look at the situation as it stood that Sunday morning. The Colts are on top of the heap with an 8-1 record. The Bears are 2 games back with a 6-3 record. Now if the Colts battle the 49ers and the Bears beat the Steelers, the Colts lead would be shaved to 1 game. And their last 2 games were on the West Coast, where they have only managed to win 1 game in 5 years. However, if the Colts win and the Steelers upset the favorite Bears, it'll be all over. Well, that's how things stand as the Colts take on the dangerous 49ers.
For the second week in a row, Baltimore Stadium is filled to the brim with anxious Colt fans as they face the explosive San Francisco 49ers. Y.A. Tittle has the power to upset any team, and he shows it here as Joe Perry takes his pass into the Colts corral. Tittle hits Billy Wilson, and the great 49er end fights to the Colts' 6-yard line. Y.A. is the man of the day as he sneaks across for a TD, and the 49ers take an early 7-0 lead. Period, the Colts come blazing back as Raymond Berry goes high to haul in Unitas' error. Johnny Unitas matches Tittle's touchdown as he runs wide to the left and drives into the end zone to tie the score at 7-all after 1 quarter. In the second period, Tittle flips a flat pass to Joe Perry, and the jet takes off. He weaves and dodges by the Colts to the 3. Y.A. rolls out wide to the right and scores his second touchdown to put the Prospectors back on top 13-7. The 49ers come right back as Tittle completes to Clyde Connor inside the Colts' 10-yard line. Hugh McElhenney hits over right tackle as the 49ers turn the tables on Baltimore to the tune of 20-7. Kickoff, Unitas tries to pass from deep in his own territory, but Matt Hazeltine picks off the deflected toss and fights his way into Prospector favor. The 49ers have the handicappers all upset as they lead the Colts 27-7 at halftime, while in the Steeler-Bear game, the Steelers lead, and that could be vital. The Colts have a long road ahead as Lenny Moore takes Johnny Unitas' toss in the third quarter, and Lenny gets to the 49ers' 3. Alan Amici, the powerhouse of the Colts, dives over left guard for a touchdown, and the Colts now trail 27-14. Johnny Unitas passes for Baltimore. His long pass is taken 50 yards downfield by Jim Mutzler in Prospector territory. Unitas throws to Lenny Moore in the flat, and Lenny skips inside the 5 as the third period ends. Amici dives across for the touchdown, and the Colts are racing back and now trail 27-21. Later in the fourth period, Lenny Moore sets out to change things in a hurry. He rounds left end and sets sail on a dazzling broken field run. Go to war, Miss Agnes, 73 yards to put the Colts on top for the first time, 28-27. Increase their blistering attack as Unitas hits Jim Mutzler for a first down at the 49er 25. Raymond Berry grabs Johnny's pass as the Colts Colts close in on the bewildered 49ers. Johnny Unitas throws to Raymond Berry in the end zone for the final touchdown as Baltimore wins its first Western Conference title with 2 games left. They prove their greatness with one of the finest comebacks of the year. And now let's go down into the dressing room and talk with the champions. Well, hi, everybody. This is a fella that is just about the happiest man in the world right now. Weeb Ewbank, head coach of the Baltimore Colts, who have just won their first championship. Weeb, what happened at halftime?
Well, always said we had to get out there and get 4 touchdowns, which they did.
I don't know whether they can still read it, but here is a few of the notes that we've made at the halftime, and right up there in black and white, 4 TDs. And that's what the kids did.
That's right. They were great. I thought the second half. I don't know why we weren't making those adjustments the first half. I give them a credit. They were going at weaknesses, which is fine coaching on their part.
Well, Weeb, another one of your themes came to pass again this afternoon, too. Weeb, you have said from the very beginning that you're going to have to do it yourself. You can't count on anyone else.
That's right.
And your ball club did it this afternoon.
They certainly did.
Well, Weeb, the heartiest of congratulations. And it doesn't make any difference to you who you play in the World's Championship, does it?
Oh, that doesn't make any difference. We got 2 more ball games. We want to come out of that in good shape. That's the important thing now.
And then get ready for whatever will come.
Whatever comes. That's
Weeb,
right.
Congratulations on the happiest day in your life. Just a wonderful job, Weeb. Thank you. We can get Don Kellett in here. Here's another fellow probably. Congratulations, Don.
Thank you very much.
This day has been a long time coming.
I can hardly talk. I'm so choked up. But, Jesus, the kids were magnificent. Comeback like that is almost unbelievable. But I want to tell you, most of the credit on this ball game not only goes to the players, but goes to Weeb Ewbank and his fine staff. They've done a tremendous job.
As I was saying to Weeb, Don, what greater tribute can a ball club pay to its coaches than the kind of a comeback they displayed in the second half?
Well, they've done a magnificent job. We're all so proud.
Don, that goes from the top of the organization right on through. You've all done a great job, and all of us in Baltimore are extremely proud of our championship Baltimore Colts.
Thank you very much, Chuck.
Hope the next time we do this, Don, it's the world champion Baltimore Colts. Thanks a million. Don Kellett. Here comes the fellow with this is the happiest expression this man has had in the football season of 1958. Here's the owner of the Baltimore Colts, Carol Rosenblum. Carol, what do we say?
Chuck, it's not the happiest expression I've had since we've been playing, but I think it's the happiest I've ever had in my life. You just can't say enough about these kids. They are the greatest.
Carol, as I said earlier, the comeback that the football team made in the second half, I think was one of the greatest tributes a team has ever paid its coaching staff.
No question about that. They proved that they believed in themselves, Chuck, and they repaid the fans for all the good they've done for them.
And I hope that you'll forgive me for saying it, Carol, but I'm quite sure that every man on this football squad also felt that he owed that kind of a comeback to Carol Rosenblum.
Well, it's very sweet of you. I feel the same way about them, Chuck. Only one thing, we told the fans it would take us 5 years to get the championship. Right. It took us 6. I'm sorry we lost that year.
There isn't a man in Baltimore or a football fan in the world that's going to feel sorry about that, Carol. They'll overlook that oversight.
And thanks to you for everything.
Congratulations, Carol. Wonderful, wonderful afternoon. John, congratulations. I've never seen a greater job in any football game, pro or college in my life. John, it was just stupendous.
Thank you very much, Chuck. My job is made easier by the boys up in front, believe me.
Well, everybody, as Weeb has said all year long, it's been a team effort, but the team that played the second half of the ball game didn't resemble the team that played the first half.
Well, we were a little slow getting started, Charlie, but once we get started, we did all right.
A little cold out there, wasn't it, John?
It sure was cold. It seems when your hands get cold, it's a little bit hard to hold on to the ball, but I had a bad first half, and I think we came back in the second half all right.
John, it was just great. I'll tell you, it may have been a little cool out there, but it's mighty warm right now. Congratulations, John Unitas, on a really terrific job. The National Brewing Company's team of announcers, Chuck Thompson and Joe Grogan, were now on their way to sunny California, where the Colts would play out the spring while they were waiting for the Eastern Conference Championship to be decided. The Colts played before the largest crowd ever to watch a Baltimore team. 100,202 fans jammed the Los Angeles Coliseum to watch the new Western Conference title holders and left cheering as the Rams pulled a 30-28 win out of the hat. In San Francisco, the 49ers treated the new champions with contempt, and the Colts wound up the regular season with a 21-12 loss. Weeb, after losing the last 2 games on the coast and then having the week layoff, did you find it difficult getting the boys up for the championship game?
No, I didn't think so, Bailey. The big difficulty was stop the people talking about it. When we got back the first week, I laid them off for 3 or 4 days for a little rest.
and we came in on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and had some pretty good practice. As a matter of fact, on Saturday we thought we should have a little contact, so we had a little scrimmage. Then the following week, it was a routine week for us, and so it was old stuff to them, really.
Made them feel like it was just another week.
That's right.
Weave, I'd like to get in with a little bit of a question about the season, and I wonder if you look back over the play of the past season, whether or not there is a game or a play that you could call the turning point of the year for the Colts.
Well, as you just saw in our highlights here, there were a lot of wonderful key plays. There's no question about that. But one of the turning points in the season, undoubtedly, was our Green Bay game up in Milwaukee, when we were behind 17-0, and our team got themselves together and went out there and beat that team. And I think that was a turning point, because it proved to them that they could come from behind, which they had to do several times later on in the season. And that is the mark of a fine football team.
We've been dealing with the public a good bit. I find that there's only one difficult thing, really, about you for them to understand, and that is your name. Do many people ever call you Weebank?
Yes, I think they do a lot of times, Billy, but that isn't the one that bothers me much. It's some of those names they've called me throughout this 5 years when things didn't go right. That bothers me most.
They're calling you a lot of nice things right now, including Coach of the Year. And, Coach, going back again to the football season, I wonder if you could tell us what it is that you think made the big difference between the team you coached a year ago and the team that won the championship for you this year.
Well, first, the first couple of years here, we didn't have the horses to do it with. And then we start gradually getting a better material. And we'd have a first team, a good offensive group unit and a good defensive unit. But then injuries would kill us. And I think the thing that this year, as you know, one of our themes during our preseason games was that we were going to find out about boys. We want to keep the right boys and come up with a better bench. And I think that's the thing that helped us tremendously. We had the good trades of Krause and Sanford. That helped us a lot. But our vets had to play equally as well as they had in former years. But when we had injuries like George Shaw taking over for Unitas, but we could spell men with those second-year men like Bracey and Pricer and Call and those men, and then, of course, we had a few rookies to come through.
All told, they blended together and turned out to be a very fine football team.
Yes, and I think that bench was the thing that helped.
And that, incidentally, is the way that you win championships. And, of course, the Colts went on to win the Western Conference title, and the New York Giants the Eastern Conference title with an unheard-of 3 victories over the highly touted Cleveland Browns. But the big day, the day that none of us will ever forget, was Sunday, December the 28th. And nearly 20,000 Baltimore Colt fans journeyed to New York City and Yankee Stadium to root on their beloved Baltimore Colts. And the Colts really gave them such cheer about. The blue chips are down. And the winner will be the 58 world champion. In the first period, Unitas goes back to pass behind great protection. Johnny fires high and long to Lenny Moore, who has a step on Lyndon Crow. Lenny fights to get away, but is downed on the Giant 25. Giant defense forces the Colts to call on Steve Myra, but Sam Huff breaks through to block it, and the Giants take over. New York gets moving as Connerly pitches to Frank Gifford. Good blocking sets Frank free as he turns upfield and gallops along the sideline. A great effort by Bill Pellington finally halts Gifford after a 43-yard pickup. Summerall gets a chance to try for 3 from 36 yards out. Pat boots it high and true, and the Giants lead 3-0 at the end of the first quarter. The Colts recover a Giant fumble in the second period. Lenny Moore makes the break pay off as he keeps his feet and fights to the Giant 2. The Colts call on their horse for the final 2 yards. Amici puts his head down and shoulders his way into pay dirt. Both fans go wild as Baltimore takes the lead 7-3. Colts are driving late in the second period. Unitas fakes a pass and takes off as Giant linemen pour in. L.G. Dupre leads the way as Johnny goes for 16 yards to the Giant 30. Unitas fakes
fakes to Amici, then gets set to throw. George Prees and the other Colt linemen build a fence as Johnny fires a scoring strike to Raymond Berry, who is open in the end zone, and the Colts have a 14-3 lead at halftime. Unitas has the Colts moving in the third quarter. A perfectly executed slant-in pass to Lenny Moore gives the Colts a first down on the Giant 3. The Giants are putting up a great goal line stand. On fourth down, Amici takes a pitch out around the right side, but Cliff Livingston makes a beautiful tackle to throw Amici for a 4-yard loss as the Giants take over. And take over they do. Connerly drops back and throws long. Kyle Rowe gets behind Milt Davis to pull it in, and Kyle rambles by Carl Tassif and appears on his way, till Andy Nelson and Raymond Brown land on him like a ton of bricks, and Rowe fumbles. Webster races in to pick up the ball and gets to the 1-yard line on an 86-yard play. Hands to Triplett, and the Giant fullback charges in for the score, and it's the Colts 14 and the Giants 10. Connerly directs the fired-up Giants in the fourth quarter again as he passes to Bob Schnelker, who is free down the middle. All Andy Nelson can do is hang on as Schnelker picks up 46 yards. Really shows his stuff. Connerly passes to Frank Gifford on the 7th, and Frank fights by Milt Davis for a Giant touchdown. The whole complexion of the game has changed as the Giants take the lead 17-14. With only a minute left, Unitas throws to Raymond Berry. Berry runs through the rugged Giants on an inspired effort that carries to midfield. Drops back, and he's looking for Raymond Berry. He hits him, and Raymond battles all the way to the 13 with just 7 seconds left to play. The Colts don't even huddle. Steve Ira must be perfect as he kicks from the 13. Steve's move is perfect as the Colts tie it with 7 seconds remaining to send the game into sudden death overtime. The Giants won the toss but couldn't move the ball that had the punt, and now the Colts need 8 yards for a first down. With 2 men flanked wide, Unitas flips a swing to Amici, and Allen just does get the first down as he drives hard. Passing on every play, Johnny has the Giants set up for a draw. A huge hole develops as Amici thunders through for 23 yards to the New York 20 as the Colts close in. Unitas proves his greatness here as he surprises the Giants with a deadly pass to Jim Mutchler, who steps out on the 1. The Colts are 1 yard away from championship. Unitas gives to Amici, and the horse drives through a huge hole over the right side to bring the world's title to Baltimore as the Colts defeat the Giants 23-17 in the best football game ever played.
What a game. Next season, the Colts will be defending their World Championship. And we'll be right there along with you to cheer them on. To assure yourself of good seats to cheer from, get your season tickets early. Season ticket prices are $30, $24, and $21. Individual game tickets, if you prefer to buy them that way, are $5, $4, and $3.50. Either way, be on hand to cheer the Colts in person next season.